Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Cookies for the second time now. This is not the first time I've done this introduction. So
I'm gonna repost your introduction.
I got to practice. It was great. So thanks, Nick, for allowing me to practice. My name's Lindsay. This is Coffee and Cookies. We're so glad you're here, and we are so thankful it's Monday.
Because we get a little grace because it's Monday.
Yes. Grace is new every morning, so thank God for that because I need it. I'm here. Nick's here.
Good
Say hi,
morning,
Nick.
everybody. And it's Monday. It's been a fun Monday already. But here's what you need to know. You ready? This is the second time we've done the opening.
It is.
The second time.
I said that.
Hey, good morning, Rod. How are you doing, buddy? You missed the first opening. It was hilarious. But it's just on my iPad. It's not distributed, so I might have to share it later.
No, we don't need to.
I think we might need to.
I think my second opening was just fabulous. It doesn't need anything.
No, actually, your first opening was way more professional.
I know. See, who wants that?
See who wants that. Good morning, Amber. Good morning, sweet wife. How are you doing?
It's much funnier with Nick laughing in the background.
It always is. Always is. Always is. So, just FYI, I know we promised that we would talk about domain authority today.
We did.
And that's not happening.
There's very good reasons for it.
There is a very good reason for that. And Amber, so I'm going to start this off with
Amber's amazing.
Amber called.
Start this with
Yes,
amazing.
She is amazing. But she called in a bit of a panic. And I remember looking at my phone going, why is my wife calling? Like, we just got off the phone. She's already calling me again. Maybe something's wrong.
You always answer, and even if we're in a meeting, you go, "Is this an emergency?"
And
okay,
for the
great,
first
bye.
time, this was an actual emergency. So lesson learned, guys. If your wife is calling you, or if you're a working woman and your husband's calling you, and he's at home, and you're like, "Man, this phone call is just a little too quick back to back,"
or maybe there's a reason they're calling me. Let's just make
Right?
sure it's not an emergency.
We actually have that question.
Yes.
I asked that question in the middle meeting. Amber, is this an emergency? And 99.999999999% of the time, it is no, honey. There's no emergency.
Yes.
But Friday, I answer the phone, and Amber says,
I don't even actually know, what did she say?
she says something to the fact of Tristan cut open his head, and we need to go to the hospital. And immediately I'm like, okay, it can't be that bad.
Right.
Like, maybe he's bleeding, and
Maybe it's a scratch.
Maybe-
Maybe it's just, it needs butterfly Band-Aids or
There
something.
you go.
Real
Right.
small.
and then she's like, no, Nick, we need to go to the hospital. And I'm like, okay, deep breath. Lindsay, we might need to take your son to the hospital. And we started packing up and getting ready to go. Like, it was
okay, let's go.
Amber,
let's do this.
and it was literally that quick. It was that quick. It was, got the laptops in the bags. Like, I was going to bring the ring lights home to shoot some things with Rosalie in our kitchen. And we just left all that. We got in the car, and I'm calling her because Lindsay's driving. So I'm calling her, and I'm like, sweetheart, you seem like Amber is, you can hear she's anxious about this.
She
she's
was
nervous, right?
But she
No,
handled it
Amber,
so great.
you did not freak out.
You did so amazing.
You did not freak out at all.
So thankful for you. Yes.
Right? Like, you were obviously very rushed. I mean, you got to think she has Tristan, and she has all three of my kids.
Right. Four kids.
She has 4 kids.
Under the age of 6. 6 and under.
Right?
Right. Yes.
And finally, I'm like,
So proud
Amber,
of you.
can you just FaceTime me and let me look at this injury?
This cut, yes. Cut open his head.
And when I saw it,
We need to go to the hospital.
we need to go to the hospital. It was like, oh, she is
Yes,
not exaggerating.
No.
She's not exaggerating. So the reason why we're not going to talk about domain authority today is because we had to rush out
We did.
early that day
Yes.
and did not have time to put the content together because Tristan decided that,
He wanted to look like Frankenstein.
You know, it's funny. I mean, it would have been perfect right before Halloween.
Right? I know.
So now everyone's wanting to know, like, what actually? Yes, Amber, there was bone. You could
was.
see bone. Okay,
I
so
saw it. It
so
was-
let's
I've never seen that
let's
before.
actually tell everyone, Lindsay, what
Okay.
actually happened.
Well, Amber, you need to be here because I don't actually know what happened.
So then I can do the preface.
Okay.
So they were at the playground.
Yes.
He went to step up onto. So on the playground there are these
Like
plastic
stumps.
but
They're
but
fashioned like a stump. They're like,
they're plastic looking stumps.
yes.
And they have a little squish to them.
Oh, they do.
They do. They're
Okay.
not hard.
They're not hard.
They're not hard.
How did
are
that
you ready for this?
happen?
Are you ready for this?
How-
So I believe what happened is he went to step on it, he slipped, and he hit it so hard that it went through the plastic and through the rubber, and he hit that metal undering. So you're talking a good bit of squish
Right.
before he hit that.
That's why he didn't bruise.
That's why he didn't
Oh my
bruise.
gosh,
That's why
that
it's
makes so
strictly a
much
cut.
sense.
It's not a bruise cut.
Right. Because there wasn't any swelling. There was
No,
nothing.
it
And I'm
was-
like, what is it? Like, yeah. So, yes, he has a very good gash. I haven't measured it, but I would say
It's
it's
almost-
like 1 to 2 inches.
It's easily 2 inches.
It's, yeah. So, yes, we went to
Care Now.
Care Now local facility, and they're like, we don't have
because
the
they could
expertise
see.
to do this because we can see the bone. It's probably going to need 2 layers of stitches.
Yep.
You need to go to an emergency room.
They're like, he's going to
Okay.
need to be put under
Sedated,
gas. Yeah.
Yes. And
he's not crying.
He didn't
he's
cry at
like,
all.
he's like, huh, why is everyone acting all funny?
Right? Yeah. Why my head feels like what? Do I have a scratch? Like, am I okay?
Oh, Amber just dropped another. So it was his full weight because as he went down, he was trying to launch himself to the next step. So this wasn't the first step. He was
Oh.
already in movement when he
Okay.
hits. Okay, that
Wow.
explains why the squish and plastic gave so much, and
Mm-hmm.
he was able to hit the metal base.
Yes. So we ended up. I took him. Nick went with Amber. Y'all.
Yeah,
Y'all took care of everything.
Hey, we passed off the kid to the
Yeah.
parent, right? Because guess what? If you arrive at a care now or you arrive at a hospital and you're not the parent, they're not going to start treating the child.
Because they don't have the authority.
They don't have the authority.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if there's like a document or paperwork that we could.
It's called a power of authority, power of attorney, power of.
Attorney? Is it power of attorney? So that way, if Amber's so here we go, right? Like
Right.
your kids go to see, where does-
Grandma
no,
or-
but no. Where does Lexi go? Lexi
Oh,
goes.
Miss Jamie.
Miss Jamie. Does Miss Jamie have a power of attorney that if something happens to Lexi, she can?
Yes, there is an
Okay.
emergency. So in the contract, there is an emergency section of if your child needs medical attention, do you give me the power to be able to oversee that?
You want to? Our two families probably need to have that.
something like that.
We do because Amber could have taken him to the care now or taken him to Cook's Children's Hospital, which is right
Right.
next door.
They don't
And
have an emergency room. That's why I didn't go there.
Oh,
It had to be an emergency facility.
wait. What?
It's a triage. They don't have a triage center.
I am so glad you're telling me this right now because that is exactly where.
You thought I took him?
No, that's exactly where I thought we would take one of our kids if something
Oh.
happened to them. So
Yes.
Amber says they were able to do a verbal authority because we
Yes.
had you on the phone
Yes.
and you have a membership with the Care Now. You had something on you had already some kind of documentation
yes,
with them.
Tristan's on file.
Okay. So now, but what we could not have done is Amber could not have taken him to medical center.
No, no. Mm-mm.
or a hospital and
Nope.
started the process at least till you got there.
Right. If it's a life-threatening situation, though,
Mm-hmm.
the hospital cannot refuse help.
Oh, interesting.
It's required. They have to
Okay.
provide medical attention if it's a life-threatening situation.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
But-
Which is why, like, when ambulances come in, the parents aren't always with them, or
Okay, that's good. I still think between our two families, there needs to be a power of an attorney document signed, just in case something like this. I mean,
Right.
let's flip the script, right?
Right.
It's Linda and Isla. They're at your house, and let's say Amber and I are working on one of our rental properties.
And you're an hour and a half away.
There we
Yeah.
go, right? Like, I mean, I think they're so. So go ahead. Let's finish the story because we keep going on tangents.
So we went to the hospital
Friday night.
down in Frisco, and we got there around 4:30-ish, I think. My timing is a little off. We got in there, we did all the paperwork, we, got COVID screened and got put in a room, and they left it open, so they took the bandage off.
Mm-hmm.
Care now bandaged it up so that he wasn't having to hold a baby rag to it.
Right.
And they bandaged it up. The hospital took off the bandage.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, like, we'd been waiting there so long because, emergency rooms are really good about being timely. They have interruptions all the time with ambulances or
Sure.
whatever. And, just like everywhere else, they don't have a lot of staff. There were 3 people covering an entire
No way.
that I saw.
How long were you guys sitting there? I'm probably going to get angry at this answer, but go ahead.
We left the hospital at 10 to 10.
No. That's not the question I asked.
Oh.
How long were you sitting there before you got seen?
Oh, no. By the doctor?
Mm-hmm.
By the doctor?
Mm-hmm.
Probably 3 hours.
So you have a child with an open wound where you can see bone.
Well, 2 hours. Probably between 2 and yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. And, he had concussion symptoms. He was like, Mom, I'm so sleepy. I just want to lay down and take a rest. I'm like, baby, you can't. You got to be awake.
I'm going to give you coffee.
I literally am like, you want to drink my coffee? Because I had coffee in the car. He's like, no. I'm like, are you hungry? No. I just want to take a nap. I just want to lay down. And I'm so glad that I kept him awake. He stayed awake the whole time. I'm so proud of him. He didn't cry. He did cry a little bit when he found out he was going to have to get stitches. Like, that made him a little anxious.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't cry when it happened. Didn't cry on the way. Didn't cry. Like, just... So we finally got moved back into the actual emergency. So there's like this front room, and then they take you back to where actually you're going to get the care and get stitched up. And so we're back in that room, and we probably sat in there for about an hour. Like, a nurse came in, and we saw the nurse, and then an hour after that, the doctor came in, which is why I say, like, it was probably 3.5 hours. Maybe 4. I didn't clock everything. So, and on top of this, my phone was at less than 10% the whole time. So I'm like, I can't really talk to anybody. I'm not going to be talking, like, everybody's blowing up my phone. I'm like, I'm going to shut my phone up. I texted my husband. I'm like, my battery's really low. I'm going to shut my phone off. I'll turn it back on and let you know if anything happens. And because I couldn't. So I'm sitting there, not even able to distract Tristan with games on my phone or nothing. Nothing. I couldn't distract myself. Like, it was just sitting there waiting and waiting. And like, we usually put him down to bed at 8:00.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just a long night. So the doctor came in, and he's like, we're gonna give him some Motrin. We're gonna put some numbing cream on it. And they didn't have any numbing cream. So they soaked a gauze pad with lidocaine to numb it. And like, I think the worst part of the whole process. So eventually the doctor came back in, and nobody came with him. No nurse to assist. No, like, just the doctor, my son, and I. So I became Nurse Lindsay. And let me tell you, Lindsay was not meant to be a nurse. Because, yeah. Anyway, so I'm sitting there holding my son's hand, dabbing the blood and assisting, and he dropped this, and he, had to get a new one. And whatever. Like, it was just a process. It was just a process. And the worst part that I had to not watch was when they were cleaning it out, when he cleaned it out. So he had this like big bottle of cleaning fluid,
Yes.
water, whatever. He just like gushed it in, like just, and you could see it like just going into his forehead and his like his skull, and it was just like I couldn't watch. That was the worst part for me. Anyway, so I helped him stitch up my son, and then we went home. And Tristan, he's like, "Mom, I want to see what's going on. Can I see?" I'm like, "No, not yet." But then he's like, will you tell me what's happening? Like, I want to know what's happening."
That's greatness for him.
I was like narrating the whole thing. I'm like, "Okay, so we're gonna just poke this through you're gonna get the needle. Okay, now the needle's out. We're gonna tie it off. We're gonna do a stitch. Okay, we're gonna just cut the scissors because it's like right here on his head.
Yeah.
He's seeing hands just
Yeah.
move all over, and he's like, "Mom, I want to know what's going on."
Which in some ways, when you know what's going on, it gives you comfort.
Sure.
Are hospitals really that short staffed that you had to become Nurse Lindsay? Like that's incredible to me. Okay, so stitches are done. We're on our way to
Yes.
do back home.
Oh yeah. So we stopped at McDonald's and got him a treat or dinner. Went home, had dinner.
He ate.
He
Mickey
ate.
D's.
Yes. Yes. Anyway, went to bed. Yeah. So the doctor said, he's like, "Oh, there's no worry about, he's been up for 5 hours straight. There's no worry about him going to sleep." He was supposed to play soccer on Saturday. I'm like, "Yeah, we're not going to play that. You just had a concussion. Let's just take a break."
Right.
And it was, so my son, he blows me away. Like he's reading, and when we were going through stuff, waiting for the doctor, he was reading stuff in the room, and he was jumbling his words, which I'm like, wow. So this is what a concussion is like. Like, I've never experienced firsthand of somebody having a concussion, of what happens. Like, it was putting the third word first and then reading the next two. And then he was like, "Oh, wait." And then he'd go read it again.
Yeah.
But it was just slow, and it was just words that were tripping him up that he's been, and simple words. So it was good for me. I learned a lot.
So after he got some sleep, did you notice that kind of went away?
Yes.
Okay.
I have.
Okay, so
It
it
is
might have
getting
been
better.
a combination of the head injury, but also just being flat out tired.
No, because this was at like 4.
Oh, okay.
5
Okay, this
o'clock.
was definitely head injury.
Yes.
You see bone.
Yes. So they ended up not putting him, they ended up not sedating him.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up not doing 2 layers of stitches because that second layer of skin was just very small. So they're like, that'll heal up just fine. And there's no dent, there's no chip in the bone, there's no nothing.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, they're like, he's fine.
Okay.
So they just did the top layer of stitching and sent him home.
There you go.
Yeah.
So do you have to let the school know at all about the stitches or anything like that?
Oh, I probably should have.
Like maybe let his teacher know.
Yeah.
So when we get done with the show, maybe call the school and be like,
I
"Hey,
could
listen,
do that, yes.
maybe
Hey,
give them a
so
heads
sorry.
up."
I'll just shoot her an email.
You have your teacher's email address?
I do.
Oh.
Former teacher. I got the.
Yeah, you do.
I got the inside
Yeah, you
scoop.
do. Not a lot of people get teachers' email addresses, and I totally get why.
Well, actually, good teachers should give out their contact information.
Oh, no, I don't want it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Amber might want it.
Amber,
I don't want it.
Amber probably
I
already
have enough
has it.
email, and she might absolutely. Just there's no reason for me to have it.
Right.
So that is how Friday. That's how
That's
Friday
how my weekend
ended.
started. Yeah.
That's how Friday ended. That's how the weekend started. And then Saturday morning you got up and you
Oh my gosh. So my husband is actually the coach for his team. So we had to go to the game anyway. And we would have anyway, just to support the team. So we got up, we left the house at like 10:30. I did not get back to my house until after midnight.
Nice.
Yes. It was crazy. I had a crazy day.
And then you got up and you
Went to church.
there you go. And then Saturday afternoon.
Oh, so we went to a soccer game.
Soccer game, there you go.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon we went to a soccer game. And then we went to one of the high schools in Prosper. They were having an art fair.
Nice.
And we got to do some painting. So we got some ceramic. We bought some ceramic trinkets and painted them and supported the school that way. It was a lot of fun.
Good.
Lexi dropped hers and it part of it broke off. She was so sad. So it was an emotional time for her. But
Yep.
after that, I went to a ladies' date at a house, and we had a mixology class. It was a lot of fun.
Learning how to make alcoholic drinks.
Yes.
Lindsay would say yes.
You know, it was fun because we made drinks that I would never have put together.
That's
I would
good.
have never put them together. I would have never tasted it. I would have nope. But it was fun.
Okay.
And the one I want to make it at our house, at a party. It was good.
One.
Just what? Yeah. The other ones, I'm like, meh.
All right.
Yeah.
And then Sunday.
Saturday after the mixology class, I went I drove an hour to help out a friend. I served at a Christmas party. Mm-hmm. And then I went home, drove an hour back home.
Uh-huh.
And then Sunday we got up and went to church.
Uh-huh.
And then we went home and did grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any time on Saturday or Friday to do that.
Uh-huh.
So, and then we went to a Christmas party after that. It was just a crazy weekend for me.
So Lindsay needs a day of rest.
I didn't get one yesterday.
You didn't get one all weekend. It's funny
I
because
did get to sleep in a little on Saturday morning. So
there you go. There you go. So if I look over and you're just passed out on your desk, there's a reason why.
If I'm curled up under my desk with my heating blanket, just don't talk to me for 20 minutes.
Oh my goodness, that is greatness.
So how about you? How was your weekend, Nick?
My weekend started. It started with the head injury.
Yes.
Right. That's how it kind of started, and then I spent so much time at the church this weekend. So
Needed some extra Jesus.
I need some extra everything. Extra everything. So Dustin, your husband, and you, Lindsay, bought me a mastermind
We did.
membership for 2021, and I got to go to a mastermind Christmas party.
How fun.
And Amber got to go with me. And it was eye-opening. I have all the notes from it. I need to actually share them with you. But what was great about it is it was getting in a room with lots of other people who are in Pastor Keith's mastermind and just sharing ideas, just sharing experiences,
Right.
just really getting to know the different couples that were not just at our table, but then also go, oh, I see you at church. Oh, we may not do business together, but we're in each other's sphere of influence. And oh my goodness, you're a mastermind member too. Oh, and you can start to see the dots of who's really succeeding, and I can see the dots of who's really succeeding within my own world.
Right.
And wow, there's a very direct correlation to all of us being in the same mastermind on different days and at different levels, but we're all involved.
Right.
So it was great to do that. And it was great to take Amber to this. So
Did she have fun? Did she get dressed up?
she got, it was business smart.
Oh, okay.
So sports coat for me, a lot of the ladies there, including Amber, just cute tops, cute pants, whatever.
Sure.
Just it was more cute, not dress up.
Sure.
More cute, not dress up. But it was just really.
Well, that's still dressing up from her normal yoga pants and mom shirts. Not mom shirts.
No.
Okay.
Amber, whenever Amber is going to leave the house,
cute, mom.
even to go pick up the
Even
girls,
when she's dressed down, she's cute, mom.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yeah, I agree with that, right, babe? Mm-hmm. So it started with that, and then Saturday morning, I've started going back to the men's Bible study. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Amber was like, "I'll absolutely dress up for next year." Yes, There was a lot of women at that were casual. And then there were some that were not 9s, but definitely 8s. They were dressed to the 8s.
Okay.
Okay. So then Saturday morning got up. We got to go to Bible study. I got there early. And I got to sit right behind Pastor Keith and Pastor Josh. And Pastor Keith actually led the men's Bible study on Saturday morning. So again, more Pastor Keith, right? I'm taking notes. I'm writing down notes. I have my phone. I have my notepad, and I'm hopping between the two to fill out everything. And then after that, there was the church leadership breakfast. So then we get to go, and Amber shows up to that. So we get to now have another 2 hours with Pastor Keith and the leadership of the church.
Wow.
And I'm doing the same thing. Like I'm going to hop between my phone and my notepad, just taking as many notes as I can. Oh man. And then that's Saturday, right?
Yes.
And then when there's
Did
something.
you guys do anything else? Like Dustin had said that you were talking about going up and doing, working on your.
So then Saturday afternoon, I took London and Isla, and we went up to the house that we're cleaning as a rental property. And those girls helped me fill up over 7 industrial trash bags of stuff. Just stuff. Like
That's
these
awesome.
girls worked for easily 2.5 hours. And by the time we left, the reason we left is they were getting tired.
Right.
They were we gave them little gloves, and this house, I've taken 5 truckloads from just the backyard to the dump. And now there's 7 bags that are there. And I'm estimating probably another 7 trash bags will be needed before the house is actually clean enough to actually run a vacuum through.
Wow.
This house was just so wow.
Yes.
So the girls did great there. We went home, had dinner, and then prep for Sunday. Sunday service. Again, Pastor Keith, just as much Pastor Keith and of the Craft family that I can get into
You
my
had a
life.
Pastor
I'm going
Keith
to,
weekend.
there we go. Right. And I needed it. And then we dedicated Isla and Sydney.
Oh, that's right. And I didn't even go. Man.
So actually, it's not really that they want a lot of friends there now. This is so they used to do it on the main stage in front of in front of everyone, and now it is done in the prayer room. It is very small. It is very intimate, and there were so many families dedicating this December.
Good.
That Tommy, because Tommy's there, I'm
Right.
there. We were actually we had to keep putting out more chairs for people, and it almost wound up being a lot of it was standing room only. There were that many families dedicating this December.
That's awesome.
And it was great to experience again that, just to reaffirm that, and the family that showed up. And then again, so the guys that are in my life, right? I'm seeing them during Pastor Keith's mastermind. I'm seeing them during the Mighty Men in the Morning. I'm seeing them as part of the servant leaders, again, Saturday morning. And now I'm seeing them doing the same thing I'm doing, dedicating their kids on Sunday. So I'm seeing how my life is intertwined with these other men and how we're all moving in the same direction and we're all trying to be better men for our families.
Right.
And to just see, okay, I am moving in the right direction. Right.
Isn't that good? Like just getting that affirmation, even if it's just a small word or just a realization yourself of like, oh, like this is where I'm supposed to be going. This is the path I'm supposed to be walking
These
down.
are the men I want to be
Yes.
doing life with. This is who I am choosing to follow while I'm on earth.
That's so funny. I got that all weekend too.
Right.
Like just different things being said or mentioned, or it was just so good. So
It's great when you know that, especially as you come into the end of 2021, and we're already, Amber and I, and here we go, right? Because Amber went to all these events with me, when I started having these conversations about flow and rhythm and how that fits into your life, she's now able to go, oh, I get it. Oh, I see why you're saying that. So something that we're talking about for 2022 is doing the mastermind. Yes, we are absolutely alignments. Is doing the mastermind, not just to have better alignments, But now, and this is something that I need to focus on. It's not just about growing me. I need to have Amber there growing with me. I need to not be the only, yes, I need to lead my household, but I need to have her in the room as well, because as I grow, I need to be bringing her with me.
Right.
And it's not just on the home front. I'm talking about the business front, right? When we sit down and we go, great, what are our 2022 goals? That's for our home. That is for our business. That is for our revenue streams. That's for how we're going to serve. That's for the direction that we want to raise our kids, right? That's for who are the alignments that we want to have in our life, right? And it's not just me as the leader of the household to say, here's the direction we're going in. No, I want her input and to make sure that her and I are on the same level, that we're constantly in sync. I need to get her in the room as much as I'm in the room. So, and I think that's actually a conversation that you and I are going to have today. Is great. How do I get Lindsay in the room? How do I get Dustin in the room? Right? Because we run a business together, right? And you're married to Dustin, who's awesome.
He is. He's amazing.
Right?
That's why I said yes.
That's why I said yes. So how do I not just get myself in the room? And if you don't understand the importance of getting in the room, I'm telling you, this COVID thing, this locking everyone out, this not being around people has destroyed the getting in the room mentality. Okay. And if you,
and some people, there's some people out there that,
there's some people that just never stop getting in the room, right?
Like Nick.
There's one thing to get on a Zoom call with a business coach or with a mastermind group. It is completely different when you're in the room, breaking bread together, having a meal, interacting, and creating life experiences.
Right.
And I think that as we move into 2022, we need to get in the room. You need to get in the room. You need to get in the room. You need to figure out what mastermind you want to be part of. And you're like, Nick, I want to get in Pastor Keith's mastermind. If that's the direction you're going, that's the direction I want to go. You let me know. I will share the contact information of who you need to reach out to. Okay. And you need to get in the room. So what COVID has done is they've separated that. And honestly, you want to know what? You get in the room now, you're going to be so much more successful because no one else is doing it. You want to be that top 1%? It's easier. It is so much easier to be that top 5%, that top 1% right now because no one else is doing it. They're too scared. If you're willing to not be scared, if you're willing to get in the room, you will be more successful than any of your competition because they're not willing to do it.
Yes. Well said. We do need to wrap this up.
I know.
This is such a great
Here we go.
conversation. We
Yes.
could probably take it for take it on for an hour.
Okay, so
or
here
more.
we go. So Wednesday we're going to talk about domain authority.
Yes.
Okay, tomorrow.
Thank you for your understanding and grace.
Tomorrow, I think we're going to talk about getting in the room.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit about fear.
I love it.
And I have a couple other ideas, but I'll talk about that off camera. We're going to talk about it off camera to make sure I'm not going too omnidirectional.
Perfect.
If you know what omnidirectional is, do you even know what it is?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Do you know what it is? Because if you don't,
Tune in
you understand.
tomorrow.
With that, we know that we love you. Know that we're praying for you, Sean. I hope you had a killer weekend, brother. We were praying for you. Hope you just crush it this weekend, my friend. That's how we know to pray for you, right?
We're gonna find out on Thursday.
We are. We are
coming on the
yes,
show.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Woody wood. But hey, that's how we know to pray for you is being in the comments, making sure to like our videos. Right now, we're just on Facebook. And we've loved this. We've loved this. Now we're getting asked to have our content distributed on more platforms so people can watch more. But just know, hey, this is where we're at. You guys are our home team, and we love you for that.
Yes.
So make sure that you
rise up.
And then for this week, because you got 10 work days left, you have this week and next week. Make sure you crush it.
Crush it.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.